Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Veronica Miller and this is Goodwill, Minnesota's Good News, where we share with you the good that's happening in our community. And I am very excited today to have a celebrity co-host, Trish McConnell, who is the Director of Community Impact for the United Way of the Suncoast.
Mm-hmm. Hi, good morning.
Good morning. And you probably know Trish also. She's one of our best Goodwill ambassadors, and actually in our 2016 I Support Goodwill campaign. Yes.
Well, thanks for having me, Veronica. The last time I was actually on this show was for the Giving Challenge. So yes. I love the show, obviously, and I'm glad to be back. So thanks for having me.
Well, I'm very excited to have you back. And we have a really good show.
Good, yeah. Well.
And I just want to remind everyone, and you being a Goodwill ambassador knows this very well, when you donate or shop at Goodwill, we actually are able to take that revenue and create jobs in our community. We employ close to 1,000 people in a 4-county radius here.
Right.
So we encourage you to always donate.
So my daughter and I, of course, my daughter Ashley, who's also a Goodwill ambassador, she and I, of course, are very committed to the community, being able to help folks here, and certainly looking at it from a perspective of helping people to find jobs, which is certainly what Goodwill concentrates on. But when you talk about the shopping perspective, of course, that piques Ashley and I's attention because we like to shop. So hopefully, when we're talking about shopping, everybody's going to come out today for the spring sale.
Yes, the spring sale.
Which is very exciting.
Yes, it's today. It goes till close, and at our primary locations, they differ. I just want to remind everyone, it excludes the Bargain Barn, Clearance Center, and bookstores, so it's just our primary locations. And, definitely go out because right now it's spring. I mean, spring's right around the corner, and I'm even more excited. Another Goodwill ambassador just sent us a picture, and she had $30, and she wanted to go find 3 outfits. Okay. So what she did, as you can see, she found this fabulous white dress, and from $30 and using that sheath white beautiful dress, she's gorgeous, she bought a vest, as you can see, that denim jacket, 3 purses, including that belt and sunglasses, all for $30. The only thing she didn't buy were the shoes.
And those are phenomenal looking outfits.
Oh,
exactly. I can attest to that.
And we're going to be having a special section coming up in the spring. We have a youth ambassador and a regular ambassador to come, and they're going to give some fashion advice, exactly what Corey just did.
Oh, that's awesome.
Buying something and then altering it. And $30, I mean, how can you beat that?
Well, and let's take note to the percentage that you get off today. 50%?
50%, yes.
I mean, come on,
yeah.
people, really?
Exactly.
That's huge. I mean, sales are great. Shopping at Goodwill is great because, awesome prices, but 50% off on top of that, you need to be running.
You need to be
to the store. You really need to be running to the store.
Exactly. So, and again, every time you donate, you're actually helping to improve our community and have a more employable community. So.
Yep, creating jobs, it's a great thing.
Yes. What was the best thing that you bought at Goodwill?
So I actually bought, you know how it seems to be very simple to buy a little black dress? Yeah, not so much. Because it really is about finding what kind of style fits you better and all that. And so it was nice because there's so many different Goodwills that you can go to, several locations, and that's the very cool thing about being an ambassador is I know where all those locations are.
Or you could go to experiencegoodwill.org.
Okay, there's that.
Yeah, the special.
Yeah, so I feel like I have like the secret squirrel inside track though because I'm an ambassador. So, but I found that very cool little black dress to go to the Goodwill or to the Girl Scouts event.
A little black dress event.
Yep, the little black dress event. So that's the best thing that I've found.
Do you know what's also amazing that you can find at Goodwill is stuff that you can refurbish. And I'm excited to introduce our next guest, or our first guest, really, because you're not a guest,
I'm a co-host.
You're a co-host.
And I'm a celebrity co-host.
A celebrity co-host.
I'm just saying.
Is there enough room to have you here? Okay, so anyway, I would love to introduce Lisa Berger, who's the Executive Director of the Arts Center Sarasota. And we're partnering on a project. I'm going to let you talk about it.
Well, as you know, this is the third year we've partnered together with Goodwill on an exhibition called Masterpieces.
Do you like that?
Masterpieces. So it was kind of inspired by an artist named Wayne White who shopped at Goodwill's, bought paintings and repurposed them and sold them for a lot of money. So that was our inspiration a few years ago, and we came to Goodwill and said, hey, would you like to do this? It's another aspect of using Goodwill materials in a different way. So being the art center, we have access to a lot of artists. So we recruited artists. We went to Goodwill, to the Mecca store, and staff from Goodwill selected artworks for the artists to repurpose. They selected them, went home for about a month, and created new masterpieces or masterpieces from these donated items. And it was a huge success. People loved what the artists did.
Yes, and the opening is coming up here.
Yes, the opening for all of our exhibitions is on March 17th, which happens to be St. Patrick's Day.
Yay!
But
Good timing.
yeah, we plan these things way in advance. But so the official opening for the gallery will be on March 17th, and you will see what the artists have repurposed. And these are from last year. This was actually a mirror that was repurposed. And what you're going to see in the gallery is the before picture. So next to each one of the repurposed artworks is going to be a photograph of what the artwork looked like before the artist touched it. So it's kind of fun.
This is neat. This is like a picture within a picture.
Yeah, that was a painting inside the mouth, and the artist created a wooden cutout around it. And that's actually titled Bad Art Critic.
Oh, that's awesome.
By Robert Doyen. He's back again this year.
Oh, fabulous.
So, this one was fascinating because that was Jamie Tracy. He's a instructor at SCF in Bradenton, and he took this drawing, sketch, watercolor, and he's very much into superheroes. And inside there are 11 superheroes drawn into that
Existing piece.
existing piece.
Wow.
Yes, and they're all listed on the back, and it actually is living in my office. I loved it so much.
That is way
Lucky
cool.
you.
Oh, what's that?
This was actually just an abstract painting in what you see in the background, and this is Marcia Enti. She created this. I don't know exactly who the guy is, but he's smoking a cigarette, and it got a lot of attention.
What you see is people doing a lot of mixed media.
Yes.
And then that's very cool too. What is this? Oh, it's the
That is
art
actually
critic in
yes.
the background.
On the left is Robert Doyen, and he created that one, and on the right is his partner Scotla, and she created the flamingos on the right.
Oh, very cool.
And they're both back this year for more creative sculptural installations.
And what this does is, Goodwill is the pioneer of the reduce, reuse, recycle movement. And taking this to the next level and partnering with the Art Center, I think is fabulous, because a lot of times people donate this artwork, and it might be like old-fashioned, it might be that it just doesn't, traditional, it doesn't fit in the house. And what these artists are able to do is recreate and bring energy and excitement back into the picture, which I love.
Right, and even Veronica's doing
I'm doing
pictures.
one, and actually, because we selected all the pieces that the artist could select, and there's you don't pick your favorites, it's a drawing, you get a number. So unfortunately I wasn't there, and I got a piece, and I looked at it, and I'm like, what could I do? And actually, I'm bringing life back to it because I'm doing all different forms of media. I took a picture and printed the picture from it, and then from there I'm making it 3D, but also bringing in different forms of media including string art,
Wow.
Wow.
string art, painting,
This is what we love.
yeah, oil and watercolor, and etching.
Great.
So it's going to be,
Yeah. And I just want to mention that all of the artwork is for sale.
Yes.
In the gallery, and you can own one of these very special pieces. The proceeds are split with the artists and also with Goodwill Minnesota and the Art Center. So Goodwill we give back to Goodwill for participating in this.
Well, I mean, I was going to say this is just such a cool event, and you know, being in this community for almost 30 years now, I moved here when I was very young. This community supports the arts so well,
Yes.
and this type of event just really adds the fun to it because you have so many local, you know, folks involved in it, and then such great partnerships that. You know, it's a really successful event and gives back. So that's the thing that I think is so cool about it.
Yes.
And it's fun.
And that's what the Art Center is all about, is supporting all of the artists, no matter what level of skill, professional, amateur, novice artists. We support them, and that's what we're all about.
Right.
And
We'll talk about the Art Center because a lot of people had no idea when I started publicizing this, and I get upset. I'm like, what?
yeah.
You know, it's fabulous and it's free.
It's free. The galleries are always free and open to the public.
Beautiful.
And we keep it that way so that we really can serve the whole community. We also have a huge education department, which is not free. We do have some scholarships, though. And that is great training, improving your skills. Doesn't matter if you can draw or paint. We have classes that are maybe more crafts, more, you know, you don't have to draw and paint. So there's always something for somebody to do. And it's just so much fun. The energy in there is great. And it really does help people. A lot of people do art because it's therapeutic, or they can express their emotions, or they may have issues in their lives that they need to express. So it's great. I mean, a lot of people say, you know, it's hard to believe, but this place saved my life. You know, just feeling part of a community, and the comradeship and friendship that they get there is amazing. It makes
Well, I've been. I mean, and it's a fun place to go. It's just the energy in it, the way that it's set up. The gallery's fun. I mean, you can take little ones, you know, whatever age.
Yeah.
It's just, I really encourage you to go because it's a fun place just to be.
Yes, and we also have camp.
Yep.
We have spring break camp coming up.
Oh,
and then
really?
We have,
Right.
And then we have camp all summer, and then we have a winter break camp. So we do a lot of youth programs and things like that.
Yeah.
It's amazing the talent that we have in this community.
Right.
You know, I've lived in D.C. and Boston and love those museums and everything. But when I go there, I'm like, wow. And this is local artists. I'm blown away.
Yeah.
Just beautiful, amazing art. Like you said, bring the whole family because it's whole educational. And if you're looking for something to do, definitely
It's free. Bring your friends,
Right.
bring your
Yeah.
relatives,
Right.
visitors. We
Yeah.
love everybody.
take classes.
Yeah. Did you hear? It's free.
It's
So
free.
I just want to
Free
emphasize that part.
entertainment.
It's free and it's fun.
You can give us a little donation
Okay.
at the door, but
Right.
it is free, and we want to welcome everybody.
So, and Lisa brought up a great point. It is free, so I hope people will want to support the Art Center because to keep it free, they need financial support. So yeah, just making that nice little donation,
Buy
definitely.
a painting.
Or a painting.
Support an artist.
That's right.
Yes,
I'm gonna
exactly.
go bid on hers.
Yes. And I know all my friends, and if you don't bid on mine, I'm looking at you.
Wow. Yeah.
Looking
just
at you.
right at me. Just looking right at me. Just
Well, it's not an
direct eye
auction.
contact right there.
You can just buy it
Yeah.
straight out.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, why don't
Yeah.
you just...
Did I just say okay?
Yeah.
So we got one sold already. That's
Right,
great.
okay, great.
Yeah.
I know exactly where I'll put it, and I haven't even seen it,
Seen
and I
it
know
yet.
exactly where I'm going to put it in
Well,
my
we've
house.
gotten a
Great.
few of the repurposed artworks in already. They're starting to come in because we are opening next week, and we have to hang the gallery, and they're pretty phenomenal already. So we're really excited about this year.
And I hope it encourages everybody to want to go to Goodwill, buy anything pretty much, and refurbish it to fit your house. A lot of people do that with the furniture. Why not the art?
Right.
I love it.
And our artists had a blast after our selection. They all stayed for like an hour afterwards and went shopping in Goodwill. And actually, I got a treasure there. One of the artists found me a gorgeous Tahari jacket for $9.99.
Oh, yeah.
I was so excited. I'm
So
going to wear
you
it to the opening.
Oh, good. And you need to give me a picture so we can put it on one of the shows and, best
Right.
finds.
Right.
So let's talk about your website.
Okay, and do you want to talk about the master party?
Well, the master party, yes. So we said this opens up on the 17th of March.
Right,
And
next
it goes
week.
through April 28th.
23rd.
23rd. I was close. I was so close. But on April 7th, thank you. Thank you. April 7th, we're going to have a master party, which will have a major mashed potato bar, believe it or not. All the fixings on a mashed potato. So
And sweet potatoes.
yes,
we had
and
last
sweet
year.
potatoes. April 7th. So make sure
And
you
that's
come.
free.
And that's free.
And open
also.
to the public.
So go to artssarasota.org.
Artsarasota.org.
Yes. The S goes with that, Sarasota.
Right.
But anyway, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks,
We've
Veronica.
enjoyed this.
Thank you.
Well, I'm excited about the masterpiece.
Can I tell you? So that event on April 7th, the masterpiece, right? That's going to be at the Art Center, partnering with Goodwill. They're going to have a mashed potato bar. I mean, really? My entire background is Amish, so this girl knows mashed potatoes, right? So I am so excited. I'm going to be probably first in line, but then, and all kinds of mashed potatoes. So it's going to be very exciting.
Well, it is, and I hope to see you there on April 7th. And now let's introduce our next two guests, the fabulous Sandi and Bruce Chapnick. And they're representing Josh Provides Epilepsy Assistance Foundation. Now, this is a foundation not many people are aware of, so who wants to talk about it?
Sandi would like to start.
I'll start with how we began. It will be 8 years this coming June that our son suffered a seizure in his bathroom in his apartment, and he suffered a fatal blow to his head, and we're hoping he died instantly from what they told us. So 2 days after that, I said to Bruce, we have to do something for people that are suffering with epilepsy. Josh had been struggling for 12 years. There were periods of time where he couldn't drive for 6 months at a time. If he didn't have us to financially support him, to pay for his prescription medicines until his insurance kicked in, or pay the transportation costs for taxi service and other rides, bus service, he would have had to drop out of culinary school. He would have had to give up his job. So we decided just 2 days after he passed away, we set up a memorial foundation, the Josh David Chapnick Memorial Fund. That's what it was in the beginning, at the Community Foundation of Sarasota. So we've been in existence for nearly 8 years, and Bruce will tell you how we have transitioned to what we are today.
The interesting thing was Josh was working full-time and going to culinary school. He was a graduate from the University of Pittsburgh with a finance degree, and he always loved cooking, and he made the decision to go to culinary school. And whenever he would have a seizure, it would cost him approximately $200 a day for transportation expense. And fortunately, we were able to help him. So when we did start our fund, it was primarily to help folks with their transportation expenses and their anti-seizure medication. Well, after many years, we finally formed our own foundation in 2013. And we now provide grants all over the country. We're the only epilepsy foundation on the southwest coast of Florida with a support group servicing multiple counties. And we have people attending from Tampa and down near Charlotte as well. And our support group meets once a month. And these families get together, and it's their first opportunity to meet with other families who are going through the same problems that they are. Children are sleeping with their parents because of a fear of their having seizures in the middle of the night. What people don't realize, that epilepsy in Florida, there are over 350,000 cases a year of people diagnosed with epilepsy. The epilepsy is as common as breast cancer, and it takes as many lives, if not more. There are 1 in 26 people will be diagnosed with epilepsy during their lifetime. The cost to this country is in excess of $15 billion a year as a result of this disorder. Epilepsy, there are over 40 different kinds of epilepsies. Our son had tonic-clonic seizures, which is the former grand mal seizure. Our daughter also has epilepsy, but she does not have tonic-clonic seizures. We are now partnering with many different organizations to help diagnose and give people some hope and as to what's going to happen with them and their families. We recently partnered with a company called Cortigen, which does analysis of DNA analysis,
genetic
testing to determine which medications can be best for that particular child, and also determine whether you're a carrier.
Wow.
We have partnered with the Cleveland Clinic and recently finished paying off a $40,000 grant to the clinic for brain research, which will assist them in diagnosing patients and helping many, many more patients to be eligible for brain surgery. Some patients outgrow it. They're very fortunate. And unfortunately, many of the families that we help throughout the country, as well as here locally, have not. And when we get phone calls from people looking for grants, I'm the one that fields those calls, and hearing the mothers cry and tell us about what they're going through. And if you've never seen a tonic-clonic seizure, it's very, very hard to watch. And I watched Josh go through many of those. And it's tough. And we hear the parents cry when they ask us for grants, and we hear the parents cry when we approve a grant. And we have an independent committee, the 3 people who makes all the decisions for our grants. We approve grants for, obviously, transportation. We approve grants for anti-seizure medication. We approve grants for seizure detection devices, mats that fit under a bed and can detect when a child is having a seizure and alerts their parents to come in. We provide grants for seizure detection and response dogs. And those dogs can range anywhere from a cost of $7,500 to $30,000. And the $30,000 dog isn't necessarily better trained than the one at $7,500. Obviously, we do not endorse any specific vendor because we can't do that. Our grants are paid directly to the vendor who provides either the service or the merchandise or the dog itself.
Dog trainer.
And so it has worked very well. We receive anywhere from 10 to 12 to 15 requests a week. Many requests from the National Epilepsy Foundation and many of their satellites throughout the country.
How do you get your funding?
Our funding comes through donations. We receive no governmental funding at all. We're very, very fortunate. We just completed an awareness and evening of thanks to our donors, which was held on Thursday, March 10th. At the Francis, and it was our opportunity to thank our donors. That event was sponsored by my law firm, Icard Merrill, and was also sponsored by John Cannon Homes, AltMed, and Afghan. And those 4 sponsors provide sufficient funds to cover the entire evening.
That's wonderful.
This has been so educational for me. I mean, just within these few minutes.
Plus, I wanted
it's really phenomenal, the things that are being done.
Yes, yes, and the calls that we receive, more and more every week. It's really something. But locally, we have a walk. You asked how we get our funds. We have a walk. It's November is National Epilepsy Awareness Month. So our walk is at Payne Park, November 12th in the morning. We don't do a run because of medications that some people are on, they can only walk. So we do a dog walk now. People are coming and bringing their dogs, and it was very successful last year. So we have really terrific sponsors, and we're really grateful for the support. And when they hear Josh's story, if you go to joshprovides.org, The whole story is there, and any information you want about epilepsy and what to do if someone's having a seizure, how you can help them, it's all online. So we're bringing awareness and we're educating at the same time, because a lot of the foundations, even the local one that we have, they can only help the indigent and adults, anyone 18 and over. So those, the children, the babies that are suffering with seizures can't get the help from the foundations. And Bruce does a great job. Once we get the application, our turnaround time is usually within 48 hours.
Well, I'm encouraging all our everyone listening to the show to definitely go on Josh Provides and help financially support this amazing organization, because it's one of a kind.
It
and
is.
you actually took something that was very painful and created action so others won't ever feel the same way.
Right.
So that's
Thank
amazing.
you so much for what you're doing. I mean, it really is amazing work that you're doing.
Well, if you heard the mothers and the fathers that are so grateful, like Bruce said, they cry when they call us, but then when we've helped them, they are still crying, but they're tears of joy because we've really helped them.
It creates an opportunity, especially for the young kids. I mean, we've had a young teenager who was sleeping with his mother till his teenage years because she was fearful of him having a seizure without her knowing it. And we were able to acquire a monitor that would set off an alarm to alert the mother that he was having a seizure.
Well, again, let's give the website so people can go on, sign up for the walk, make a donation, and
It's
help spread this.
$25 to sign up for the walk, and it's November 12th at Payne Park. We start around 8 o'clock in the morning.
So again, Josh Provides.
.org.
.org. And, you know, knowledge is power. And what Bruce and Sandi just talked to you about was knowledge about epilepsy and how this wonderful foundation is helping those. So now you have the power to share this information and, you know, get together a team. Why not?
I think you and I should do it.
Yeah. Walk, you had me at walk.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Do you have a dog?
Bring your dog. Bring your dog.
Well,
I
I'll
have two
borrow
dogs.
one of yours.
Okay, there you
How about
go.
that? I'll take one of yours, Veronica, and I'll do it. We'll walk. I don't run. So we're in.
Unless
That's
someone's
good.
chasing me, but yes, this has been a wonderful show. We've heard about amazing, you know, how people are transforming artwork and raising money for Goodwill and the Art Center. What a wonderful two programs, but also to learn about Josh Provides Epilepsy Assistance Foundation and how others can help. So I hope that we gave you some inspiration in how you can help this community and become a better place. And that's the whole premise of the show. So thank you for constantly writing in and reaching out and wanting to share the good that's happening in our community. And thank you so much for being
You're
the
welcome.
celebrity.
Thank you. Thanks for
Co-host.
having me. Don't forget to shop today.
Thank you. And looking forward to seeing you next Sunday on Goodwill, Minnesota's Good News. Thank you.